What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today. We're back on some MX bikes, as we are most days. Today, however, we're going to be playing a first track creation by Hadzio. And at first, I didn't know this was a track at first because on the surface, it looks identical to another track released by Brovi at the same time this week. However, it turns out that they are just friends. So they've kind of I think Brovi's helped him quite a lot along the way with it. So the track is called, and it's a Polish track, so I'm going to try my very best with the pronunciation, so you'll get to make fun of me. So it's WXC, and then it's Ostrowiec Świętokrzyski. Świętokrzyski.
Ostwowiec Świętokrzyski.
And having a quick little flyover as well, it looks like it would suit these smaller bikes. And I thought, I don't really fancy riding two-strokes today. So what I thought would be fun instead is we hop on the Alta, which is one of the e-bikes. We've got the Alta and the Stark Varg. I have not ridden the Alta in any variation, in any pack release, since November last year. So it's almost been an entire year. Be very interesting to see how the bike feels these days and see how things have transformed. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe. So with the Alta, you have a few different options in terms of the engine mapping. And they tend to go in terms of speed, usually. Although, having a look at this drop down, I think Eco is the slowest. But then I see performance, and I feel like sport would be faster than... I've been an idiot, never mind. I'm pretty sure it goes Eco, Sport, Performance, overclocked in terms of speeds. Now, it's quite a small track, so I don't want to have way too much power. So I think what we're going to do is going to put it onto Sport mode, so it's a little bit faster than just being really slow, but should still be some good fun. Let's move this map up here, rotation off. Put it under my face. Let's put it on 40% so you can see that. And then I'll also put my stand-ins on as well. This will be the last day, I think, for a little while until I can be bothered to go through and reinstall everything. Me having max HUD, because... Actually, no, the day that you're watching this is MX Bikes of Nations qualifying day. So I hope that you can all pop by, because I will be live streaming.
Do it.
I'm a little bit nervous, can't lie. I have been doing a little bit more practice since the live stream the other night, and I'm feeling okay. It's really weird because sometimes I'll hop on a track and I'll straight away just do like 2 or 3 laps really clean, fairly fast, and I'm really happy with it. And then I'll go do something else, like let's just say, for example, I'm playing FIFA, and then I'll come back after a couple of hours and hop on exactly the same track and feel like I can't go in a straight line. So my consistency right now, overall, is lacking quite badly. So I'm hoping that the session when I hop on for Nations qualifying is one of them good sessions. But we'll see. We know I tend to quite often be a second moto rider as well. Like the first one, I'm trying to work things out, and then the second one, I tend to have a little bit of a better feel for it. That's kind of evident by all of the qualifying that I was doing for the LAN event over the course of this month. That the first motos never seemed to go great, and then the second motos I was riding a lot more consistent and a little bit faster too. So hopefully that works the same. Again, either way, it's not going to be the end of the world, because if I qualify for Great Britain, then great. You boys there, get some nice content out of it and get to represent and try as good as I can. If I don't qualify and Aiden takes the spot instead, then he was the faster man, so Great Britain get a faster rider than me. And Narvo has been very generous. He's offered that I hop in the booth with him to commentate. So that'll be very cool. I get to try commentating properly with Narvo, and I haven't asked his permission yet, but what I'd like to do is record it, and then I will cut it down into more of like a highlight thing for the entire event and upload that to my channel, because the stream will be on his channel on Twitch. And streaming as well, I'm having a look into, now Twitch have changed their policy on streaming, doing some multi-stream stuff now. I believe you can just do it straight through Streamlabs. So I don't believe it will take a massive toll on my internet. It's not like I'm actually doing 2 streams. It's just 1 stream spread across 2 different platforms. So I might try it out, because someone asked me the other day why I don't do it on Twitch, and I get that every now and then. The main reason being is, like, you're all here. You're all on YouTube, you know? And if it was a game like CSGO, for example, that's like millions and millions of people, and there was a high chance of people like stumbling across your stream, then sure, I'd stream on Twitch. But I feel like the MX Bikes community on Twitch is very small. so the chance of you being discovered or the stream getting decent numbers is quite low. But I'll give it a go. So whichever platform you prefer, then just keep an eye out, especially around this MX Bikes and Nations qualifying time, because I may be live on Twitch at the same time as YouTube. I'm hoping that it all goes smoothly, because if I have like one issue during it, then I'm just going to get rid of Twitch for the day, because I do not need any extra stress or any pressure added on top of qualifying. It's going to be hard enough as it is.
That's what she said.
So as I said in the intro, this is Hadzio's first ever track, I believe. It's actually, I'm not sure if you can hear it at all, in amongst the whirring of the electric engine. It's not an engine, is it? Would you consider it an engine? Regardless. Amongst the sound of the battery, or the electricity, or the chain moving, or the wheel spinning, the track is sand traction. So it might be a little helpful bit of information for you guys if you plan on downloading it for yourselves, to slap on some sand tyres. The scaling is on the small side. However, these are replica tracks of real tracks in Poland, and it follows a very, very similar sort of vibe and aesthetic as Brovy's tracks do. And he does go and credit Brovy in the post on MXB Mods, saying like thank you, and he helped him build it all from scratch. So really, really nice to see people working together. Apparently this is going to be part of like a Polish championship that's going to be going on, which I think will be quite cool. I'm not sure what the bikes involved will be, but in my personal opinion, I do think these tracks suit the smaller bikes. When you start getting up to like 450, and to be fair, even 254 strokes as well, I feel like you just overjump everything, and you're always going to be checking up, like slowing down. One thing that I feel like he's accomplished very nicely, especially for a first track, is there's a good amount of flow. Now, there's not a huge amount of ruts. You know, for the most part, it's just like berm outside in each corner. So some people like that, some people dislike it. But there's just a tiny bit of rough everywhere. It's never perfectly smooth all the time. Nice inside rut there, actually, just after mentioning the rut situation. But there's one or two corners, like there's a corner in the middle of the track where it's got bumps around the berm. So if you hit it correctly and you manage to pop the front wheel up and almost wheelie around the corner, you can hit it really, really fast. This could be complete placebo, because I've been riding the OEMs a fair amount recently, but this Alta is not giving me anywhere near as many issues as, like, let's say the 450 bikes did when I first hopped on them. Like, the turning of it feels a lot more like I would expect it to feel. Like, it doesn't feel like the massive centre of gravity changes apply to this like they apply to the 450s. But then again, every bike's different. You know, the geometry is different on them all as well, and power has a huge part to play in how the bikes handle. And we're on sand as well, so sand traction will make, and the tyres that we use for sand will make the bike handle a little bit different than the soft soil stuff too. So there's a lot of different variables at play. And I'm trying to keep an open mind now as well, trying to be a little bit more positive about it all. I feel like I got very lucky. You guys are very nice, like very, very helpful, and I'm always getting sent random setups by people on Discord to try out. I don't try most of them just because I do get so many, and a lot of the time, no offense, but they do turn out to be absolute cheeks. But I appreciate the gesture nonetheless. But yeah, I tried one that someone sent me the other day, and it just felt like a completely different bike. And the amount of clickers that had to be changed for it to feel this much different is insane. Like, it's so far away from stock, it's crazy. It's like so much softer than the stock KTM comes. But it feels good. You know, it feels a little bit more comfortable, and it's just like, it's a nice base for me to work on, you know, rather than just being fully uncomfortable all the time. There's a level of comfortability there that I can then hopefully progress and build my speed from. So fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. Because I was so down horrendous, like I was even dreading the idea of, come January time, Supercross starting, because I believe the OEMs are being used at Supercross as well. And it's just like, oh my god, how I'm never going to be able to compete on these things. Like, they don't suit me at all. But hopefully, now that I've got this set up, and I've tested it in whoops, and it does feel okay in whoops as well. So that's probably the most difficult part of Supercross at the moment. Hopefully, I can get it feeling good on the Supercross tracks. We shall see. Only time will tell. But I suppose we've got how long we got? We've got another 2 months or so before Supercross starts. So plenty of time to be practicing. Now, I told this story on my stream the other day, but there was about 160-ish people in the stream at the time, so I know a lot of you watching this video won't have heard the story already. If you was in the stream and you've heard it, I do apologise, but I just thought I'd share it again because it's very interesting to me. So I'm going to try and explain it as best as I can without you guys thinking that I'm an absolute freak and a weirdo. So there's certain sounds that everyone hates, you know, that really aggravate people. It can be something like when people have a drink and there's nothing left in the drink, but they keep on slurping in the straw and it makes that horrible noise and you just want to headbutt them. It can be people scraping cutlery on on plates when they're eating. It could be like a ruler or chalk on a chalkboard, or like ruler on a desk as well. You know that like really like sharp sound that just makes you like physically recoil and really annoys you. I have a very, very similar feeling to that, but with Velcro. Very odd, I know, probably not something that you've heard of very often. But it's so bad to the point that I'm going to annoy myself here now because I'm doing it. But just the thought of the sound, I haven't got to hear the sound, I just have to think about the sound being made, like hurts my head. Like it's not like a normal headache, it's not at the front at all, but it's like slap bang in the middle of my brain, and I don't know how to describe it properly. So that sharp like recoil feeling that you get when you hear someone scraping a ruler on a desk, it's like that, but it's not as intense and sharp. It's a tiny bit duller, but it's like fuzzy. So it's almost like the sound of Velcro, but translated into pain form in my brain. Very difficult to word how it feels. But I've done some research on it, and apparently, I think it falls under a condition called misophonia, which is to do with like general anxiety disorder and also obsessive compulsive disorder, so OCD and GAD. And essentially what it is there's an issue with that certain sound. Your brain can't process it properly. So the usual, like, what you call it? This the like the electric pulses, like pulses that your brain emits to different parts of the body to get it to feel or hear something or recognize any sort of sense. It can't do that properly. So instead of it being like solely audio based, it turns into a pain sensation. And I just thought it was very interesting. It's something that I've struggled with my entire life that I randomly out of the blue decided to self-diagnose on Google. So yeah, there you go. Your boy is an absolute freak. Can't stand Velcro. I know one of you is going to be an absolute arsehole and probably sort some Velcro out at the LAN event or something like that, which I beg you don't do, because it will turn me from a very happy man into a very grumpy man straight away. Like, it genuinely fills me with rage. Like, I could strangle someone when they do it on purpose, because all the way going through school and growing up as well, when like your classmates have Velcro shoes when you're really, really young instead of laces, and they just think it's like funny and a joke and do it, and it's like, I so want to headbutt you right now. It's unreal. But that's fun fact of the day with Linz. I'm telling you, I'm convinced I've got a little bit of tism in me. There's definitely some weird and wonderful things going on. I told my girlfriend about it as well, and while she said it doesn't sound painful to her, she gets the same sensation of like feeling just instant rage at someone when they hear them like chewing food really loudly. So like the mood will just be like that, like from good to bad, just by hearing a certain sound. So I'm quite curious, what is there any weird noises that you guys don't like outside of the normal ones? Like, I'm aware everybody hates the sound of like knives and forks scraping on plates and like rulers like scratching on desks, but is there any weird ones that you might not have realised before, or you don't think many other people have? There's question of the day. Well, I don't think I've shown it off yet. Look at this kit, by the way. Like, 327 has actually knocked it out of the park. I'm very, very fortunate that he slides in my DMs every now and then and sends me just the latest FXR gear that he's been working on. Like, this is really, really nice. And I like the way that he does the numbers and the naming as well, and the colours that he uses to blend it all in together. But I would so rock this in real life. I do like my fluorescent gear. It's not... I was about to say it's not over the top, but it is, isn't it? If I just take it all in and look at it properly, it's way over the top. But either way, I like it. I wish I had some more helmet skin colours, though. I've got like... I want to say there's like 10 of them or so, but they're all kind of samey. There's nothing super bright and out there to match with the rest of the gear. But yeah, either way, I like it. I'm a big fan. Unfortunately, we are just running a stock Alta setup at the moment as well. I've got nothing downloaded for this bike. I'm sure we could do something clever by having a subscribe button on the bar pad where the electric bit's meant to be, but it's just a one-off video. At the end of the day, I probably won't ride this bike very often at all. Maybe if there's like a specific e-bike championship that goes on my MXB, maybe, because the bike actually feels okay. Bearing in mind, we are in sport mode still, so it's very controllable. But if I was to go to overclocked, it might be a little bit overkill. But I'd be very curious to see how the Alta and the Varg stack up against each other. I'm not sure if anyone's done much testing between the two yet, or if they're comparable, if they feel pretty much identical. It'd be quite cool to have a series just with those two bikes in it and just see what people tend to gravitate to. I have a feeling a lot of people would go down the Vile group just because it's like the newest thing. You know, it's like a new shiny toy. It's when you turn into a magpie and it's like, oh, shiny, gimme, please. I just wanted to give a little bit of praise to Hadzio, though. I think for a first track, you got to be pretty happy with what you've produced here. Like, it definitely does suit smaller bikes. I couldn't imagine riding on anything else more powerful than this. But I think if you was to chuck a bunch of riders on this, although a lot of the corners are very one-lined with there just being a berm, I think because the corners are quite open as well, it does leave the outsides exposed to like block passes. So I definitely think there's a way of passing people around here. Be interested to see what the track gets like when it's like quite eroded, because I'm running, I think 1.4 erode right now, and you can see there's a little bit forming in the like far outer corners. But I'm not really seeing much on the straights at all. But I am just one man. I'm just me, myself, and I. No massive lobby full of people here. Decals look quite nice as well. Very easy on the eyes. Not too bright, not too dark. Just right, just in the middle. And you know, lots of greenery dotted all over the place. It feels like it's quite highly saturated as well, just by standard. You know, I've not got to do anything with it at all. So I'm not going to touch it in the editing process of this. You'll get it just as it comes. And I think that'll do it from me. No, it's quite nice going green every now and then and just revisiting the electric bikes. And this one actually feels quite nice. Like, it really does. I was a bit scared that I wouldn't be able to ride it like I felt when I hopped on the OEM 450s at first. But this actually feels really, really manageable. Turns quite well. Obviously, I've got it on sport mode, so the power isn't through the roof, but it's not like an absolute slug. It still gets about. And yeah, good job to Hadzio as well. I think he's done really, really well here, and I look forward to what comes in the future from him. So that'll do it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you could drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, I'd really, really appreciate it. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. It's the most important thing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.